Basketball playoffs are starting up, so we're going to dive right in and make a splash next on SFBN Talks High School Sports. Talk about that game and that team in particular.
And let's talk about some of the players. Yeah, so let's talk about that.
Welcome to another edition of SFBN Talks High School Sports. I'm your host, Ari Bluestein. Our co-host today is Jeremy Treatman. JT, it's the most fun time of year for you. I know that, boys basketball playoffs.
I love the playoffs. Anything can happen, but it's always great to see these guys playing the biggest games on the biggest stages.
Well, let's start with the District 1 4A bracket and a game that you got to see on Friday night. Lower Merion defeated Council Rock North. It was a close game, but the Aces came out with a win. Tell us about that game.
It really was a great game. Nip and tuck all the way. Lower Merion switched from a zone defense to a man-to-man defense in the second half, and I think that's what helped prop them to the win. Steve Pendleton, 5 big points at the end of the game, including a game winner. Council Rock North, Derek Wright, who is the younger brother of Jay Wright, the Villanova coach, he had a great game plan, but Lower Merion able to pull it out.
Another team I wanted to talk about was Plymouth Whitemarsh. Now, PW bypassed the Suburban 1 playoff and decided to focus on districts and states. And they were one of the favorites in this bracket, and so far it had paid off for them in the first round with a win over Cheltenham.
They're actually my preseason pick to win the District 1, so I'm not surprised. I think Jim D'Onofrio's got a really great team. Jimmy Murray and those great guards at Plymouth Whitemarsh. They made a really tough decision to skip the first ever SOL championship at the end of the year, but I think it paid off. They beat a team that beat them earlier in the year, and they beat them by 40 points here in the playoffs. So I think they're really out for blood here in the playoffs. PW's on a mission, and Coach D'Onofrio knows how to navigate the districts and states, and he felt his team needed the rest, and I think he's going to be proven right.
Well, in this District 1 bracket, we always get a little bit of February madness, if you will. We look to see what's going to be the big upsets. Well, we had an almost big upset, and then we had one that actually happened. North Penn nearly knocking off Abington, but the Ghosts prevail. But then Penncrest, they come up with the bracket buster. Talk about those two games.
Yeah, the Penncrest game's a surprise. In double overtime, they take on Penwood, and they beat them at Penwood. Clyde Jones, a really tough loss for a team that really was expected to do something here in the postseason. They were the 5 seed in District 1 4A, so Penncrest moves on. And North Penn, they got a couple guards back, including a starting lead guard who'd been hurt with a big front court. So they were a good matchup against Abington, which is a guard-laden team with really strong guards, but not really strong up front. So not a surprise that the game was close, but Abington was able to pull it off. And Abington, in my estimation, probably the second or third best team in District 1, so I'm expected to see them continue.
Yeah, Matt Panicale, one of the stars for Abington, he was in foul trouble a lot of that game, so that was another reason why it was close. But yeah, it definitely did, but they do move on. Now let's go into the Catholic League, and everybody looks for the big Palestra semifinals, which are going on tonight. And in the quarterfinals on Friday night, not a lot of surprises. New Magretti rolls over Father Judge. Roman has a tough take with Wood, but they prevail. And Carroll beats a very feisty Conwell-Egan team. LaSalle knocks off their rival, St. Joe Prep. So LaSalle versus New Magretti. That's the first semifinal. Let's talk about that game. Saints versus Explorers. What do you think?
I think the Saints will pull it off in the second half. The first half, I think, is going to be close. LaSalle wants to hold the ball, control the tempo. They want to keep that game in the 30s and the 40s. They're capable of doing it. I think they're a nationally ranked, capable team this year. They're very good. They only have 5 losses, and they went to the state championship game in 4A last year. But Newman, I think, is the best team in the whole area. Only 1 loss this entire season. They're really strong. 5 guys who can score anywhere on the court. And I think that up-tempo in the second half is going to wear down LaSalle.
Yeah, I love Quade Green as well. He had a game-winning 3 against Carroll. We covered that game on SFBN. And speaking of Carroll, they've got a pretty good player themselves with Derek Jones, and they take on Roman Catholic. They've got a good player in Tony Carr. Both teams well-coached, and this is the headliner later tonight at the Palestra.
It sure is. You got a coin because just flip it up because I'm not sure who's going to win that game between Roman and Carroll. They're both so strong. They're both nationally ranked as well as being ranked in our area right here along with Newman. And it could go either way. Roman's got the better guard play, and Tony Carr is good enough as a lead guard to lead his team to a victory. But Carroll's so strong up front. And Derek Jones, there's really no one guy who can stop him from Roman. So I think it's going to be a really close one. If you make me pick, I'm going to pick Carroll.
Yeah, I like Carroll as well. I think it's going to be Carroll versus New Magretti in that Catholic League Championship game. But we shall see. That's going on at the Palestra tonight. When we return to SFBN Talks, we're going to switch to another winter sport. What is that? Find out next on SFBN Talks High School Sports.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
For over 30 years, the Runaround has serviced southeastern Pennsylvania as the premier team outfitter in the region. Located in Abington, the Runaround serves as a one-stop shop for many of the area's top high school and collegiate athletic programs, as well as numerous travel teams, youth organizations, and corporations. With its top-quality screen printing and embroidery coupled with the best prices in the region, the Runaround is your answer to any team apparel needs.
The Ambler Sports Academy is owned and operated by professional teachers and coaches. We specialize in individual, group, and team training. Book your next baseball or softball birthday party with us or call to learn more about how we can improve your organization by providing coaching clinics, tryout evaluations, and on-the-field training. The Ambler Sports Academy will be offering summer camps at the following locations. Be sure to visit our website today for details. We look forward to helping your players reach their maximum potential.
Welcome back. When you think of swimming in a pool, you think summertime. But in fact, at the high school level, swimming and diving is a winter sport. So we had a chance to go out to North Penn High School, the home of one of the top swimming and diving programs in the entire state. Jeff, let me ask you, what does it take to be a member of the North Penn Boys and Girls Swimming and Diving Team, one of the best teams in the entire state?
It takes a lot of commitment, dedication, and perseverance. For a program that's as highly competitive as ours, the student athletes are also taught time management skills. Because we have such a high demand on the athlete, most of the time that these high school student athletes are training, their school members have free time.
So Matt, let me ask you, what is a typical high school meet like? Because I only know the Olympics, that's all I'm familiar with.
Typical high school meet's a little bit faster. It's more of a sprint meet and a lot less events than the Olympics have. We start off with a medley relay, have a couple individual events. Then we have a diving break in the middle of the meet, in the diving competition. After diving, there's a couple more individual events, and then we have a 400 free relay. That's kind of the grand finale of the meet.
Olivia, let me ask you, you're the swimmer. What made you get into the sport of swimming?
Back when I was younger, my mom and dad signed me up for a summer swim and diving program. They wanted to give me like another sport to kind of try, just find my sport. So when I first started, I was kind of nervous. New sport and all, like you don't know what it's going to be like. Halfway through, I realized that it was the one for me, and that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Madison, we saw you diving a little earlier. So many different variations, at least in my eyes. Why don't you tell us, what kind of different dives you can do?
Well, there are 5 categories of diving. The first one being forward. That's what everyone thinks of when they think of diving. And then 2 is back, and so it's standing on the board backwards. And then reverse is walking off the board forwards and doing a backflip. And then inward is standing on the board backwards and doing a front flip. And then twisting, which is a separate category in and of itself, can be done in any of the positions.
Pretty cool stuff. Brett, you mentioned you've got the legacy and you're part of a great program here at North Penn. You go back decades, and this program is one of the best in the entire state of Pennsylvania. How great is it for you to be a North Penn Knight?
It's truly an honor to be a North Penn Knight, not only swimming, but just in this athletic program. It's so prestigious, and I just feel so great being a part of it. And it goes all the way back to Mr. Carroll. Pool's named after him. He won so many times. He did such great things for this program, and we're just here to continue his legacy.
And Thomas, last year, you guys finished top 10 in the state, boys and girls. Are you excited to get back to districts and states this year?
I am, and I can speak for everyone on that one, but I mean, it's a critical point in the season. We're starting to get a little bit of rest. We're getting a little bit of life in us. And it's just an awesome feeling. We won our district meet last year, and we're hoping to repeat that again. And swimming is an interesting sport because it's not only individual as you're trying to get colleges to get visibility and so forth, but I mean it's cool because it's also team oriented, and you have all these swimmers behind your back that you've been with since those long summer nights and all the way up through our senior year when we're all figuring out where we're all going and everything. And it's sad, but it's awesome at the same time. And it's cool knowing that you have this awesome group of guys behind you wherever you go, especially at these big meets.
Well, good stuff. Good luck to you guys the rest of the way. Thank you. Well, thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Marty Bystrom, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
The Writers' Corner is brought to you by Eldion Pejolari State Farm Insurance Agency. For all your insurance and financial needs, please contact Eldion and his friendly team at 215-485-5556 or visit their website, epinsured.com. Welcome back. It's time for the Writers' Corner, and Ace Carter from the Inquirer joins us, and it's the first time that we've had you on during basketball season, so welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
So you've watched a lot of basketball over the last couple of months. We're in playoff time now, and we talked earlier about the Philadelphia Catholic League with JT. Newman Goretti, Roman Carroll, no surprises there. LaSalle ends up being the number 4 team. Any surprises in your book?
No surprises at all. Probably the usual suspects in the Catholic League. LaSalle comes in at number 4. No surprise there. They were a team that made a deep run in the Class 4A state playoffs last season, finished runner-up. A junior-laden team that year. Now a bunch of seniors experienced. No surprises at all.
Now in the first game tonight at the Palestra, LaSalle takes on Newman Goretti, and the Saints, obviously they are the favorite, but can LaSalle pull off the upset?
They have a chance. Contrast in styles here. Newman Goretti wants to push pace. They can easily get to 80 points if you let them. LaSalle wants to slow everything down, make every possession count. If LaSalle can control the tempo, they definitely have an opportunity.
LaSalle kept that game against the Prep in the 30s, so that's where they kind of want to keep things. Now in the other game, you have Roman Catholic versus Archbishop Carroll, 2 teams with very good Division I type players. Who do you think will win that game?
An interesting matchup here. I'd have to give a slight edge to Roman, but this is really a pick'em game. I think with Archbishop Carroll, everyone talks about the high-flying forward, Derek Jones, who's headed to UNLV next year, but I really think that Josh Sharkey makes that team go. His ability to penetrate, collapse defense, he can kick out for threes, dish for layups, and even if he drives and misses a layup, Derek Jones is always lurking for tip dunks.
Yeah, JT and I picked Carroll earlier, and I have to think Roman is a very interesting team, kind of two-faced, because they beat Carroll and Newman Goretti, but lost to teams like LaSalle and Wood. Which team do you think is going to show up tonight?
It's a very good point. Definitely 2 different Roman teams. Earlier in the season, everything was crisp and clean, great defense. A couple of hiccups, a couple of bumps in the road, but I think now that we're in playoff time, you'll see more of a sense of urgency, more attention to detail, better execution from Roman.
Let's switch over to the Public League. We had the classification championships this past weekend, and the game I think a lot of people were wanting to see what would happen was Constitution versus MCS for the single A championship. And MCS led for really the first 3+ quarters, then Constitution turned it on, took a lead in the 4th, and never looked back. What did you see in that game?
Definitely one of the most exciting games of the weekend. Constitution, I think what propelled them in the end was just experience. This is a team that won a state title last year, a bunch of juniors back then, now they're seniors and experienced, and they kind of know how to win those close games. I think that was the difference.
And the other game I wanted to talk about was the Friday night game, King versus Washington in 4A. And we had Ed Marone from the Northeast Times on a couple of weeks ago, and he liked Washington to pull off the upset. And you know what? Early on, the Eagles were there. They were winning. They had Charles Brown rolling, but then Brown went to the bench with foul trouble, and it was all downhill from there for Washington, and King really just took over.
Washington was poised to make this thing really interesting, but like you said, Charles Brown picked up his 3rd and 4th foul about 2.5 minutes into the 3rd quarter, and after that he had to sit, and Washington never really regained their composure. They started forcing things on the offensive end, and then King was able to attack and take advantage.
All those Public League games, they were pretty exciting, and if you want to see more of those games, tune in next to SFBN Talks High School Sports.
I got the personal attention I needed, I had a lot of options when I graduated, and as far as I'm concerned, this is my dream job.
Ryder prepared me for my NBA career, and I also got the education that I need for life after basketball.
I had 6 teaching internships while I was at Ryder, and right after graduation, I started a career that I love.
Welcome back. This past weekend were the Public League Classification Championships, and I had a chance to go to all 4 games. Check out these highlights.
Andre Noble, what do you need to do to win this game tonight here against Del Val?
Got to play great defense. The playoff starts with great defense. They're a big team, so we got to rebound well, and our guards got to control the game at the end of the game.
For your team, who do you think is the key guy in order to win this game? Who needs to step it up? Would it be Devin Liggins, you think?
Devin's important. He's been working his way back in. He's not really in great shape because he's been sitting out so long. But we've been trying to get him back in shape. Obviously, if he plays well, that's a big plus for us.
All right, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Rob Moore, head coach for Constitution. Man, that was a tough ball game. MCS, they really played their hearts out, didn't they?
Absolutely. I mean, that's our rival. They have Samir Dart, who can score in a million different ways, and I expected them to come out and play. We beat them twice this year. Beating a team 3, and we may see them in the state still. So beating a team that many times is very, very difficult. And obviously you get to see each other, and you get, they know what our defenders are going to do, and they just came out and they played. For the first 24, 28 minutes of the game, they just wanted it more than we did. And we were able to maintain, proximity to them, and, we're able to overcome that, down the stretch.
Public League champs, you guys are one more step closer. You guys ready to repeat?
Yeah, man, a lot of people, every year I've been here, people don't pick us. But we've been in the Final Four every year, so this is the 3rd year that we've been in the Final Four. I've been coaching 3 years. We always feel like we're going to win it. We didn't win it my first year. Lost a close game to Vaughns and Rashid Jordan and those guys. Then last year we won it, and now this year again, nobody picks us to do anything, but we right here again. So, I love my guys, and I think we got just as good a chance as anybody to win it.
Well, congrats. Good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm here with Kenyatta Bay, head coach for Auden Reed. Congratulations on the 2A championship. You guys really started out really well with the press, and you really pressed Fieri Charter early, caused a lot of turnovers. Was that the game plan from the beginning?
Yes, that was our game plan from the outset. That's what we be working on every day in practice and whatnot. The kids work really hard at it, and it's one of our strategies.
Yeah, and you guys got a lot of steals in fast breaks, a lot of transition layups, and not a lot of outside shots, but is that the way you guys have played all year?
That's exactly how we played. We're on like a 10 to 11 game winning streak, and that's the kind of things that we set out, we teach in practice. Work hard, play hard, and share the ball.
Well, you just got handed this plaque. How does that feel, 2A champions in the public league?
It feels great. It feels great. This is my 2nd year as the head coach of the varsity, and we've been making a lot of strides because we work really hard. So, we deserve it. The kids deserve it. It's all about the kids. Man.
Well, congratulations again. Good luck going forward.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All those highlights have me pumped up for the Public League Championship game. Here's how you tune in to that game. Well, that about wraps things up for this edition of SFBN Talks. And JT, 2 of the teams we just saw, King and Imhotep, they didn't win the state titles last year. Do you think they have a shot this year?
Oh, they absolutely have a shot. I'd say that both cases a little less than 50%, but a good chance for both of them. Imhotep's got a lot of tough teams in front of them. like Newman and Carroll, where King, I think Roman's the only team that I think on paper is better than them. So I think King's got a pretty good chance. I would say UTEP's got a pretty good chance as well. Not as good a chance as King, but they're both in the hunt.
Well, I guess we'll find out over the next month and a half.
Absolutely.
For Jeremy Treatman, I'm Ari Bluestein. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Yeah, I like.
Select video equipment for SFBN Talks has been provided by DMP Video. DMP Video. You provide the moment, we'll capture the memories. For more information about our videography services, please go to our website at www.dmpvid.com.
The high school scholar athlete of the month for February is Tony Carr of Roman Catholic High School in Philadelphia. The standout point guard that leads the Cahillites, Tony earned all Catholic honors last year as a sophomore and is getting recruited by local Division I programs. The captain and team leader on the court. Off the court, Tony has a 3.2 GPA in the classroom and in his free time works at a health facility helping people with emotional challenges.
The Sports Fanbase Network, this area's leader in high school sports broadcasting, is heading to TCN with a brand new talk show. Join us every other Wednesday at 6 o'clock for SFBN Talks High School Sports. We'll have everything from interviews with players, coaches, writers, and more, plus analysis, rankings, highlights, and in-depth features on major topics in the Delaware Valley high school sports community. Tune in every other Wednesday, 6 p.m. on TCN for SFBN Talks High School Sports.